ghosts, but I'm ready to find out.
You see the 5-pointed star with bells on it.
What was that? Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Some nights in the wilderness turn frightening, not because of what you see, but because of what you slowly begin to notice. From strange handwritten messages found near an Appalachian shelter to screams echoing outside an abandoned chapel, these nights left more questions than answers. What was really hiding in the dark? On May 12, 2025, paranormal investigator Dawson Toller traveled alone to Elk Mount, a deserted settlement in the Smoky Mountains near Gatlinburg, Tennessee. His goal was to test whether the old ghost legends had any truth. Roughly 17 to 19 aging houses still stood, and the vacant town held a silent, uneasy atmosphere.
We were in Elkmont, and we were heading to the first cabin. It is just an entire town, completely empty. I'm super creeped out.
In daylight, Dawson moved through the aging homes and studied Elk Mount's tragic history, including a fatal train wreck in 1909, the railroad tracks being removed in 1925, and Uncle Lem, a mountain man whose house was rapidly demolished after his death in 1984. Yet the real tension started once night fell.
We're going to try to talk to some ghosts. In the year 1909, the town experienced a great loss with a deadly train crash killing multiple people due to the train plummeting down the mountain and crashing into a nearby river. This accident drove in a lot of tourism, leading to a luxurious hotel construction project in 1912. This was the infamous Wonderland Hotel. Due to the popularity of the area, some of the wealthy tourists began buying land to build vacation homes. Little River Lumber Company decided to pull the plug. It was decided to not inform any of the citizens of the town that it was relocating its operation and ask questions and see if there is anybody. One of the most colorful characters in Elkmont was none other than Uncle Lem Ownby. He lived to be 94 years old. Uncle Lem was a true mountain man and loved to enrage the government and tourists with his antics. When he died, he was the last original settler in the area.
Dawson came back alone and began at house number 5, among the oldest structures. He placed a voice recorder, a spirit box, and a REM pod, waiting for a reply.
Here we are, guys. We're in Elkmont, and we're heading to the first cabin. I'm super creeped out. It is just an entire town, completely empty. And the first spot that we're gonna go to is gonna be number 7. 7 and 5 are some of the oldest ones here. So I figured we would start out at one of the oldest ones. There is a freaky ass vibe. And I don't know if that's just because it's dark out and I'm alone, or if it's because there's ghosts. But I'm ready to find out. Here's 5. Let's go into 5.
Early on, he believed he noticed motion, but later understood it had only been an insect. Even so, the uncomfortable feeling lingered.
I don't know if that was a trick of the light, but I'm not kidding. I swear I saw something. Let's go over here and see what we got going. This just leads back. Okay, so perfect. We have the REM pod set up. Super sketchy, guys. I mean, let me tell you, like, I'm allowed to be here, but it's scary at the same time because, like, if a real person comes, that's probably going to be more scarier than if a ghost comes. People probably don't come and ask you guys very many questions, but I have a device right there on your fireplace, and if you walk up to it, it just lights up blue. So if you would like to do that, it'd be very much appreciated. And if there's anybody with me, because guys, I've been speaking to some people and there's been a feeling that I've been
Then heavy noises came from outside, almost like snapping branches. Isolated in the thick woods, he started thinking about bare strangers or some other presence concealed nearby.
I heard 2 two noises. I highly doubt you guys will hear them, but they came from outside. And we are in the middle of the woods, enough to not stay in the same place for a long enough time because it didn't come from inside here. So let's go ahead and move on to another spot. We're gonna walk down this way, closer to where my car is. Another thing we have to worry about, genuinely, are bears. I don't want to speak it into existence, but it's definitely a possibility.
In a different house, he picked up a scraping noise followed by a bat beating its wings. His voice recorder also contained an older 52-second audio file, although he believed the device had been cleared.
We're gonna walk into this one because this is the one I just heard a scrape. Anyways, this is the one that I felt like was familiar. I guess we should go into it because why would I get that feeling? I did watch another YouTuber come here. Maybe, oh shit, that was a bat. Why do I keep going to places with bats? This is like the 20th place that I've been to with bats. Hopefully it won't come in here though. Hopefully it just flew out. Seconds. This was empty.
Later, after asking whether anyone had once lived there, he felt he caught a weak yes.
Ms. Dawson, could you tell me your name? Did you used to live here in this house? Let's run this recording.
As the night continued, additional sounds echoed from outside, leaving Dawson increasingly unsettled.
I heard what sounded like a stick breaking, and we are in the woods, but I'm getting really freaking freaked out. The REM pod, we're gonna run another EVP, and we'll go from there, but we're in the Appalachian Mountains dealing with Appalachian beliefs and Appalachian stories. So it's freaky. It's scary up here.
In the final house, even a cockroach made him jump. He hoped for one last sign, but when he departed Elk Mount, only silence remained.
Here, I think I might be heading out of here in just a second. So if you could show me one last sign, I will gladly leave you be and leave your home if that's what you like. I don't feel anybody needs to be anybody's entertainment or, anything like that. I genuinely just like to talk to you guys. I'm not trying to exploit you. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable by being inside your home. It's lovely. I'm sure it was even lovelier back in the day. And you know that I'm just here to talk to you, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Maybe it was wildlife settling structures or the town's past causing every noise to seem more intense. What do you think Dawson faced inside those abandoned homes? This could be one of the earliest recordings of the Russian Bigfoot captured in 1999 by Yevgeny Lomachin in Siberia. He had gone out for a calm hike and recorded the riverbanks, but after watching the video later, he spotted something frightening in the shot.
Эти сенсационные кадры демонстрируются впервые. Полностью покрытое мехом тело, вытянутая, как бы изломанная фигура, странная нечеловеческая походка. Невероятное существо.
The shape did not seem human. Its frame looked tall, hairy, and oddly bent, moving in a way that felt unnatural. Yevgeny thought it might have been the Almasty known as the Russian Bigfoot.
Случайно попало в кадр. Евгений Ломакин во время похода в Саянах снимал берега реки. Он уверен, что это снежный человек.
Far from the Appalachian Mountains, Siberia creates a similar feeling of dread for hikers and campers through its mysterious folklore. The area is known for tales of the Almasty, a being often compared with Bigfoot described as an unusual figure traveling through the forest. Around the same period, hunters near Selekhard in far northern Russia discovered massive footprints in the snow. The marks were bigger than a human foot sunk deep into the ground and moved along a strange route before heading toward the trees.
Человеческих, а длина шага составляет почти 2 метра.
Вот, получается человеческая нога, и сами посмотрите, какой размер тут ноги. Вот так вот тропа идет вот. Видать, он дошел такой вот, развернулся и пошел обратно. Где-то, значит, возле города ходит.
Удивительно, что избегающий встреч с людьми снежный человек.
Yet the footage still leaves one question unanswered. Did Yevgeny film an animal a trick of perspective, or something more difficult to explain? Since 2017, a YouTuber named Phil, the creator behind Hike Slam, had quietly recorded forest hikes. His videos usually featured peaceful trails, steady camera movements, and simple narration that made viewers feel as if they were beside him. For years, his Appalachian Trail outings followed a familiar rhythm. He carried little gear made camp and enjoyed the quiet. But on the night before Thanksgiving in 2021, that routine changed after he discovered something unusual close to home. The video from the outing did not open with scenery or equipment talk. Phil sounded unsettled right away, explaining that the hike had taken a turn he had never expected. Early in the walk, while moving through a silent section of woods, he started noticing plastic containers beside the trail. Each container had writing on it. At first, the messages were brief, but soon they grew longer and became harder to follow. It did not seem like ordinary litter left behind by campers or hikers. Someone had been placing those messages there intentionally. Deeper along the trail, the handwriting began to feel different. The notes included names, dates, and unusual thoughts that did not clearly connect.
The weirdness continues. What the hell?
They seemed less like diary pages and more like someone trying to capture thoughts that were moving too quickly. A short time later, Phil came across a dead duck on the path. The moment passed quickly, but it made the whole situation feel more disturbing.
And there's a dead duck here. It looks like it was just put here because it's not wet. That duck is fairly recently killed. Kind of creepy.
Phil continued forward, hoping the messages were limited to that one area. Then he noticed smoke rising from a hidden campfire with a tarp set up nearby. The camp did not appear abandoned. Someone had been there not long before. That was enough to make Phil continue toward a shelter farther down the trail. Along the way, he encountered two women and their dog coming from the opposite direction. They seemed nervous and asked whether he had seen a man leaving disturbing items and strange writings along the trail. They did not want to keep walking alone, so Phil stayed with them until they reached a safer place. Afterward, Phil went back to his route and became more aware of how silent the forest felt. Eventually, he reached another shelter and chose to spend the night there. Inside the shelter logbook, he discovered more writing. Many Appalachian Trail shelters keep logbooks where hikers write names, notes, updates, or warnings. But these entries looked almost identical to the messages he had seen.
I'm gonna check out the shelter log here. I hang out by the fire where people write in their trail names and what's going on. They can write whatever they want in there. So let's see what this one says. Alright, let's see what's happened recently. Wait a second. Looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here.
The handwriting's scattered thoughts and strange rhythm all felt recognizable. Some notes described time spent alone. Others suggested fear warnings and ideas that did not make much sense.
In 2018, while I was incarcerated at the Okaloosa County Jail, what the heck? In solitary confinement, I figured the following out. Refer to Isaiah 28:15 through 9.
Then Phil noticed a half-filled Gatorade bottle suspended from a string inside the shelter with another handwritten message attached.
What the hell is going on?
He pitched his tent inside the shelter and hoped the night would remain quiet. But later, he heard someone outside. It did not seem like an animal. It sounded like slow footsteps around the shelter. When he looked out, his camera captured a figure wearing a headlamp passing through the light before vanishing into the dark. Phil didn't stay to find out more. He silently packed his gear, returned to the trail, and made the long walk back to his truck in darkness. He arrived home safely, but the experience stayed with him. Almost 3 years later, in October 2024, Phil came back to the same trail to see whether the writings remained, whether the shelter still felt wrong, and whether the person behind those messages had ever left the woods. Whatever happened that night, it revealed a side of the Appalachian wilderness that peaceful hiking videos rarely show. Maybe it was a troubled person near the trail, or maybe the fear came from finding too many unsettling signs in one place. But if you found those messages and heard footsteps outside your shelter, would you wait until morning? Would you remain in your tent if your dog stared into the dark, odd sounds moved around camp, and a device suddenly answered with a name? On May 3rd, 2026, Paranormal Discovery posted a video from a solo camping trip deep in the Appalachian Mountains. He had no service, no one nearby, and only his dog with him. At first, camp setup and cooking seemed ordinary, but the night shifted fast.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another haunted camp out with me. Your boy Lamar is solo camping out here tonight, but we actually pulled up to the Deadlands. If you guys remember, I had a dream. Some sort of entity in that dream told me to come back, but I came back and nothing extreme happened. So I'm kind of today, like, just curious. The weather conditions up here in the mountains are kind of hitting us hard right now. So I think we're going to hop right into dinner. I got some steak. Kia's got to eat too. I do have the...
While cooking near the fire, he paused after hearing movement by the trees. It did not resemble normal woodland noise. He tried to keep going, but as daylight disappeared, the feeling of being watched stayed.
Straight up thought I just heard something right there. That was strange. This is perfectly medium rare, people. Perfectly medium rare. Moment of truth. Small show. Oh my god.
Later, as he settled down, he said the woods felt strange and far too quiet. His dog kept staring into the darkness, which made him more nervous.
And there's a lot more wildlife out here. Like, the sounds are now coming out. You know, it kind of feels more lively. Rather than the winter, man, this place felt like a portal to hell almost. I've been waiting for the summer camp. Panic. Okay. I've been waiting for the summer camping to come, like, all winter, so bad. To the point where...
After some time, the quiet broke again. He heard small repeated noises near the edge of camp that did not match animals he normally hears. He kept looking over his shoulder as though something stood just outside his sight.
Happiness. He's here.
What does that mean? Who's here with me right now? Who is he? Man, this smoke is getting in my eye. Everywhere I go, it's like shooting at me. See this right now? What's going on there? Fire. What was that? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Every time.
As the night went on, he stopped feeling alone. Something seemed to move nearer, even though he could not see anything. Smoke from the fire kept drifting toward him in odd directions, making it harder to remain calm.
You heard that? What was that? That was a movie moment where the two characters kind of look at each other like, oh shit, we're in for it now. Like, what do we get ourselves into, you know? Ah, oh no! No. Ouch. There we go. There we go. That is what I'm talking about. Good girl. Lie down. There you go. Good girl.
When he inspected the area around camp, he found signs that someone or something had been there earlier, including disturbed soil and an abandoned water bottle. That felt unsettling because the place was supposed to be empty.
Okay, this kind of came out of nowhere. There seems to be, of course it kind of stops right now, but I just heard this weird screech. I don't know, could have been like a bobcat or something. Whew. But yeah, the sound was from that way. I don't know. I'm trying to kind of understand this dream that I had. I don't know why this entity in my dream was telling me to come back. Well, maybe there's a reason. I'm actually gonna go that way. I'm gonna follow her. Drop the bear spray. Kia, hold on, babe. Hold on there, honey. Alright. She seems to be not freaked out by much, but... So I'm doing it from the tripod here. Alright. Let's take a quick peek. You can kind of see the rain stopped on the top of the tent here. It's kind of, it's my first time testing if it's waterproof. It holds a good amount, but we'll have to see, Key. If it rains, we'll have to go in there. What's going on, baby? Yeah, she's definitely hearing something. Picking up on something, too. Oh, God. Kia, we're literally camping right there. Alright, let's check out this spot, okay? Oh, boy. Come on, babe. Let's go. Oh, hell was that?
Then he heard heavy movement close to the tent, almost like something was circling them. He quickly brought his dog inside and stayed near the shelter, trying to figure out what was happening.
Tent is? What the shit? Kia, come here, babe. Come here, honey. Good girl, good girl. Alright, let's go to the tent. Something's by our freaking tent. That came from that way. But if you were to go around the loop, our tent would be... Okay, what the shit? Whoa. Kia knows what's up. She was like, every time we come here, something weird happens, man. Why do you keep bringing me back here, Dad? Whoa. What the fuck was that? What the? What was that? Holy shit. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hello? What?
Unusual sounds continued outside, including faint hissing and slow steps in the wet ground. As the rain became heavier, the forest felt tighter and more silent between each noise.
Alright, this is getting weird. I feel like all sorts of ways right now.
Shoes.
Shoes? What the shit? What the shit was that? That was like hissing. Oh, okay.
Caves.
The hell, man. Okay, I'm gonna get situated here. I feel like I shouldn't have my voice up too loud. I just feel like something's out there, and I don't want to be loud. It's like some weird shit coming from outside of there right now. Yeah, she's raining, man. Yup.
He also heard distant, unclear sounds that did not seem like wildlife or wind. After that, he moved around less and spent more time inside the tent.
I hear like machinery. That's weird because we're out deep. Unless that's kind of like a plane. I left the trunk open on accident. I'm like, it's raining now. We're pretty sheltered in here. This is pretty cool. But then I just remembered that I left the trunk open to leave it open, but close that now. What the hell was that? Interesting.
Later, he used a device to try communicating with whatever might be near camp. He said it answered with the name Audrey. He repeated the name, confused and unsettled, while his dog stayed very still beside him.
Audrey.
Audrey? Audrey, please tell me if you're from this... I don't even know what to ask right now. Girl, baby, good girl. You're okay. Daddy's got you. We're just talking to someone named Audrey that's touching that device. Okay? You're good, baby. Y'all hear that behind me?
The interaction became more disturbing when he claimed the replies included warnings and unclear messages that did not feel human. He wondered whether something non-human was interacting with him.
Touched? If you never walk the earth, and you mean harm to me, or the entity that I've been encountering through the winter, can you please touch that device? Oh, I'm getting the shivers, man. Can you touch it harder? Something's going on there. It's a blue light. Feels like something is on the outside of the tent now. And sometimes it feels like it's in. It felt like whatever was in here is now out, but it can change like that. Audrey, what are you? Do you have a form? Are you one of the cryptids? Do you know the cryptids? I need something. I'm getting the freaks now, man.
Then a sudden noise came from just outside the tent area. He froze and said something was extremely close, but he could not see anything clearly in the dark.
Get out and leave.
What the fuck? Oh! Okay, you heard that right? Oh shit. Yeah. What the fuck is this? What is this right now? Oh my god. Audrey?
Training.
Audrey! You can't hurt us! I can't see anything out of that. I feel like some face is gonna appear in the window. Oh. Where the shit? Where the fuck is this thing? Where is it? I'm not even going out there, but it's somewhere.
The fear peaked as he kept asking what the presence wanted, but only strange replies and noises followed. The rain wind and quiet spaces between sounds made everything feel worse.
Please wait and listen.
What the f***? Audrey, what do you want? What do you want from me? I'll listen, but you gotta tell me what you want. Whoa. This is getting...
There's many of us.
Whoa. This is getting messed up. Come on, open. What the shit? Audrey! Yeah, I know, baby. I know, honey. What the shit?
Let's sit and talk.
I honestly don't even know.
Later that night, he said it felt less like he was chasing the noises, and more like the noises were surrounding him. He stayed inside the tent, exhausted but still alert.
Yo. Oh, damn. Why does it feel so sketchy and shit in here, man? It's damn 2:51 in the morning. Rain's coming down now. Honestly, I don't even care about any damn spirits at this point.
By morning, he felt drained and confused. He kept thinking about the name Audrey, and questioned whether it was real or something his mind could not process.
Later, but stayed a lot longer than I anticipated, but right now I feel like I'm just gonna back up. You know, was out here, maybe, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with Audrey, but I low-key just, I don't know, something weird is going on here spiritually. Honestly, I'm just getting a little bit annoyed. Like, we've heard some stuff, but nothing outrageous. One thing that really intrigued me was the whole Audrey scenario. Do I come back? Kept warm all night. My legs definitely kept it warm all night. But it was a comfortable sleep. It's gonna be a very tired morning. I'm gonna pass out all day.
He left the forest with no answers, but the feeling remained that the same presence might still be there waiting for another night. Maybe it was fear, weather, strange noises, and unclear device replies, but in an isolated camp, it is hard to ignore. Would you return after a night like this? The Grizzly Gaz channel centers on Gaz himself, usually accompanied by Dog Fendi, as he takes on solo overnight camps and visits remote or supposedly haunted locations across the UK. His content mixes rough outdoor survival with light paranormal exploration, using his van as a traveling base while documenting the mental pressure of being alone in wild places. On November 3rd, 2025, Gaz stopped near a hidden reservoir beside a forest that locals connected to witchcraft. After cooking food and arranging his electric blankets with power from a portable generator, he and Fendi entered the trees to investigate the stories attached to the place. The woods felt quiet. Other than the wind and Fendi moving around, almost nothing could be heard.
It's very, very quiet, apart from the wind and the odd aeroplane going overhead. Oh, when we get back to the van, I'll let you all know how Fendi's doing. Don't be going through them puddles, you idiot. Go on this way. I always feel like somebody's just gonna pop its head up over the wall. Annoyed out already. And there it is, the witch's den. You ready, mate? You can hear the wind just whistling through those trees. I'm sure I just saw a light or maybe some eye shine. I hope there's no cows in there. There's always cows in there. Always bloody cows. I shat my pants then, look at that. I thought there was someone stood there on edge of woods just staring at me. It's the end of a dry stone wall. Right, come on.
As they followed the path, Gaz confused dark shapes and shadows, especially parts of a stone wall, for people watching them. He was trying to find the location called the Witch's Den, and the farther he went into the forest, the more uncomfortable the surroundings became. Eventually, he reached an opening and found a ruined structure buried under debris, which he believed was the rumored den.
Don't like that. Oh, here it is, I think. We found it. Yeah, check it out. You see the 5-pointed star with bells on it hung up there. And there were loads of other bells last time I were here. Well, last time I camped here anyway. Just rattling about in wind. I don't think we can get in there, mate. I can't squeeze in there anyway. I'm too fat to get in there now. Great down. Keep hearing stuff.
Above the doorway was a 5-pointed star covered with bells shaking in the strong wind. Along with the creaking trees, the whole area began to feel heavier and more threatening. As he studied the place, Gaz started paying attention to sounds that didn't seem to fit the wind. Once he switched off his flashlight and listened carefully, he picked out a clear, heavy noise that made it seem as if a large animal was moving close by.
Pretty sure I saw an eye shine right up there. Other side of that wall. It looked pretty big as well. Hold on. Where's my other torch? Alright, so it might have been whatever it was peeking round the side of that wall. It's like a T-junction there with this wall, and there's a gap between this long one here and then the one that goes along there. I ain't got any tools with me. Got no knife, got no axe, got no saw, but I've got a Fendi. Oi, Fendi, this way. Are you having a piddle? Don't worry, I'll watch your back for you. Everyone always tells me to look up, but the only reason why I'm looking up is for branches. Right, oh shit. Come on, let's get out of here. I'm sure I've just heard someone sneeze.
Worried about his safety, he decided to leave. While getting ready to move out of the woods, he became certain he had seen eyeshine, reflecting through a gap between two stone walls. The reflection looked big, strengthening his fear that something large was observing him. With nothing to defend himself, he called Fendi and hurried toward the forest's edge. Just before he cleared the tree line, one last unexpected sound rang through the woods, a sharp noise that sounded like a sneeze. It did not resemble any animal sound he knew, and it left him deeply uneasy. As soon as he stepped out of the forest, the mood changed, and he mentioned feeling safer away from the trees. Back at the van, Gaz and Fendi were still trying to understand the experience when a real-life issue interrupted everything. Multiple suspicious charges on his bank card, adding up to nearly 500 pounds. The possible fraud forced him to cut the camp short and drive away to find cell service so he could freeze the account, ending the trip in urgent frustration. Some viewers think the eyeshine and heavy movement point to a large animal, while others connect the local legends and strange layout of the den to something paranormal. The sneeze-like sound remains the hardest detail to explain naturally. If Gaz had remained longer in the woods, would the unseen presence have shown itself or moved closer? That unanswered possibility keeps the encounter open to debate. This story brings you into one of the most dangerous areas of Appalachia, where an abandoned chapel, a missing boy's name, and screams from the trees turned one night into a nightmare. On May 21st, 2026, the twin paranormal crew walked into one of the deepest and most dangerous sections of the Appalachian Mountains. Their goal was an abandoned chapel, a location connected to the story of 4 people who vanished and were swallowed by the wilderness forever.
This is where we're staying. I don't think we learned from the last mistake we made.
Is this a bad idea? Still? This is not gonna be good.
Yep, it's a bad idea. And this is horse poop.
And this is horse poop.
Ryan, don't pick it up.
Wilderness.
Don't pick it up.
Okay.
This region of Appalachia is one of the regions where many people go missing or die every single year. Some people think that this is because of natural causes, but many others believe that there is something horribly wrong with these mountains. So whether you believe it or not, we are back in a brand new area to find out if it is real.
In Appalachia, people can disappear fast because the terrain is huge, rough, and heavily forested. One wrong turn, a hidden drop, or a sudden loss of direction can become serious quickly, especially once daylight fades. While setting up equipment, Ryan suddenly yelled for the others to come outside. He had heard a harsh voice from the brush, whispering a greeting just as the batteries in his flashlight died.
Guys.
What?
Holy f***. Oh my god. Look around real quick. I just changed the batteries in this flashlight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to set this camera up to face the outside. I hear something brushing through this branch. I heard, hey.
No,
Somebody
shut
was
up.
walking.
No way.
I swear.
Dude, no.
Like something was trying to talk to you. We're getting everything ready. You just hear Ryan out here yelling.
Yeah, we just scrambled for cameras. Dude, that's up.
Inside the church, they started feeling as if they were being stalked. Their devices began giving an unsettling chain of responses, pointing to being watched, fear, and danger.
Talk to us, please.
Dude.
Shut the f up, dude. What do we do? Open it?
Hell no.
You know what's wild?
Something just knocked on it, and it didn't go off.
Can you touch that device in front of the door?
The little red light. It won't hurt you.
Prove that you understand us.
It honestly scared me so bad I'm thirsty. I still hear what sounds like something below us. Did you guys feel the vibe between up here and down there? Yeah, down below us, under there for some reason, felt weird.
Whoa.
Think about it.
What the f? Hello? Talk to us.
No.
Watching!
Oh shit, dude, you just got done saying that you're supposed to cover the windows. Can you see us?
Watching fearful. Are you below us? Or can you see us through these windows? Danger. Watching fearful danger. Are you saying we're in danger?
Watching fearful danger.
Oh my god, in a new section of the...
I just heard a fucking voice. I heard a voice.
Later, the group entered another area and returned to the trees. A whistle sliced through the quiet. Then Ryan stopped cold when he saw what appeared to be bare human feet running through the dense brush.
You up?
We hear you. We can't see you though. We can hear you, we think.
Like Stranger Things.
Or the creature.
Is this a portal?
Find the truth. Find the truth. Somebody's trying to tell us that there is something that we're missing. There is something. The reason why there's so many people going missing is because what if there is another dimension?
Someone was screaming again. I swear I heard it.
You haven't got it on audio.
It sounded like either a small, like a kid voice, or like a female.
What is actually out here? What is hunting us down?
Other side.
How do we find the other side?
Figure.
Is there something that brings you there and hurts you? Hand.
Figure. Right arm.
If my ankle truly just got grabbed...
That was when they found the story of Dennis Martin, a boy who disappeared in 1969. Just as his name was mentioned, a voice in the static seemed to suggest that Martin had been taken. In 1969,
In 1969, a 6-year-old boy named Dennis Martin vanished in the Great Smoky Mountains. He was playing a simple hiding game and then disappeared within seconds. One of the biggest at the time, never found. Martin! What the f?
Oh my god.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Dude, listen to this. You said Martin? Dennis Martin.
Yeah.
There's a 6-year-old boy that went missing in the Appalachian Mountains. I just read that, and that device just said Martin.
Look at my arm, bro.
This is insane.
I'm like so chilled up.
Holy sh**.
No way.
Oh my god, this is really sad.
No way. How did he go missing? Something's here, Brent. Like something. Something is here.
Did you just feel that?
6-year-old Dennis Martin vanished in the Great Smoky Mountains while playing a simple hiding game. A massive search followed, one of the largest at that time, but he was never found. The last hours turned into a nightmare of darkness. They stayed frozen inside the chapel, listening as something shook the door latch and screamed from the woods until sunrise.
Guys. There's talking right outside of the door. The door's right there. We have 3 hours. 3 hours till the sun comes out. And then what? Run to the car? How are we going to film the end? I don't know. Just figure it out then.
Maybe the voices, whistles, and movement in the brush came from people, animals, or fear growing in the dark. But when a place already carries a history of disappearances, every sound feels heavier. If you were inside that chapel, would you stay silent until morning? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.